जनवल्लभा जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जय यशोदनन्दना जय व्रज जननन्दना जय यशोदनन्दना जय व्रज जननन्दना जय यशोदनन्दना जय रज जननन्दना जय यशोदन जय यशोदन यमुना तीरवरचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय यमुना तीरवरचारी जय यमुना तीरवरचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय यमुना तीरवरचारी यमुना तीरवरचारी जय कुंज विहारी यमुना तीरवरचारी जय कुंज विहारी यमुना तीरवरचारी जय गिरिवरधारी यमुना तीरवरचारी जय गिरिवरधारी यमुना तीरवरचारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी everyone be sing जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी Please clap your hands like this. जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी वल्लभा गिरिवरा तारी जय
गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरा तारी जय गोपी जन जय यशोदनन्दना जय व्रज जन रञ्जना जय यशोदनन्दना यमुना तीरवनचारी जय गिरिवराधारी यमुना यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी यमुना हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण everyone louder कृष्ण हरे हरे come your hare one more time together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mic to kids. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, to the kids. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Ram Sankirtan की जय, कलियुग पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल. निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. I don't know about you, summer has begun for me already. Hare Krishna. We'll begin with Mangalasharam prayers. Please kindly we'll do it together. We'll become familiar as we do it. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Krishna. As kids leave, there is more space. Please move forward so we have more space for people who are coming in later. Please move all the way to the front if possible, especially if you are not leaning against the wall. We have this sofa. If any of you feel uncomfortable, instead of blocking that way, please come sit here. Alright, so we're going to begin today's session with few prayers. We have Gita champion coming up on May 1st. So we have 4 verses which are the essence of bhakti. It's a very beautiful set of verses. We will try to memorize them over the next 4 weeks, and then we will have all of you come here and present. We'll have kids also who will recite these verses. There is a tough competition usually, so please prepare them. Please kindly repeat after me. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadhavagni nirvapanam. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadhavagni nirvapanam. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam. Anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamruta swadanam. Anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamruta swadanam. Sarvatma snaparam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Sarvatma snaparam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. If any of you feel comfortable reciting, please raise your hand. It's okay to make mistakes. We will learn together. Okay, Satyaji, wherever is the second mic, please pass it on.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam.
Shreya कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनं आनन्दाम्बुतिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृत आस्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्
Very nice. This is Sanskrit is, I'm sure some of you may have studied in your school just as I did in my many years ago. So it's poetry. It usually has a meter to sing along. This is one of the complicated ones. It has, each line has 19 syllables. The Bhagavad Gita shlokas, most of them have 8 syllables. So, but this one is a little bigger. This meter is called Manda Kranta. I'm sure you did Lagu Gurus in your childhood if you remember. So if you put all of them, the meter is called Manda Kranta. So it has, so it goes like this. Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamaha. So there is a break there and then it continues. So I think 13 plus 6, something like that. Anyway, so we will try the next one. Next one is a slightly different meter. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis. Tadrar Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. Tadrar Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi. Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi. Durdaiva Mitrishamiha Jani Nanuragaha. Durdaiva Mitrishamiha Jani Nanuragaha. We will read the translation if someone has a mic. Directly, please read the translation. Maybe the first one and then the second one.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years together and thus extinguishes the blazing fire of conditioned life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of transcendental names, such as Krishna and Govinda, in which you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Durdaiva Mitrishamiha Na Anuraga. We have no attachment. They were discussing how in diseased state, like jaundice, the tongue cannot taste sweetness. Like that. In the material state, unfortunately, things related to God or spiritual topics don't seem very interesting for us. But that's okay. They say just as for jaundice, one has to keep drinking the sugarcane juice and eventually they'll get nourishment and get recovered from the diseased condition. Similarly, even though we have no attachment, no attraction, we can take it as a medicine. In the beginning we take it as medicine, but eventually the same thing becomes like nectar. So, thank you. Alright, we will try reciting the third verse. This is very simple and probably one of the most beautiful verses. My spiritual master quotes this verse the most number of times. Very beautiful. If we can all practice this in our life, we will become blissful and everybody around us also becomes blissful. This is what we need to be able to remember and chant God's name all the time. Trinadapi sunichena Tarurapi sahishnuna Amanina manadena Kirtaniya sadahari. So, can someone? Okay, Mataji, she loves this verse very much, so we'll give you a mic. It is a translation. You could read it. Prabhu will read it. You can read it from here if you like.
Trinadapi sunichen tarorapi sahishnuna amanina mandena.
We will recite after Mataji, I think. Okay, please recite again and then we'll repeat after you.
Trinadapi sunichen tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena Kirtaniya sadahari.
Please read the translation as well.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Very high state. More tolerant than a tree. A tree usually gives shade while it is under sun. You may cut down the tree, no complaints. You may hit the tree, no complaints. So tree stands for a tolerance. If we are in our life, we can be tolerant to the best of our ability. We cannot be like tree, but by practice we can actually even become more tolerant than a tree. Humble than a blade of grass. Renadapi, sunichena. Blade of grass, if you ever noticed, you set a foot, the grass doesn't poke you. Hey, why are you stepping on me? So similarly, sometimes we poke at somebody, they don't like, even we don't like. Somebody pokes at us, we immediately say something to them that hurts them also. You call me lazy? What about you? You're also lazy. You're super lazy. Somebody pokes us, immediately we have 10 things to poke others. But blade of grass bends if somebody steps on it and then provides them comfort. So it's taking pain, but it is giving comfort to others. So humbler, but as soon as they leave, immediately the grass comes out. So life goes on. But more humbler than blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. Amanina, no false prestige. But manadena, we give respects to others, but we don't expect any respect. Then in that state, we will be able to always chant the names of Krishna. It's not about being right or wrong. Sometimes, many a times, we are stuck in this. Hey, I didn't do any wrong. Why are they scolding me? In our past life, without them making a mistake, we must have scolded them. Now it's coming back as our karma. So, anyway, this is a very high stage. I'm sure you will have reservations. What is this? Tolerate? Should we tolerate all the nuisance our boss does to us, our spouses do to us? So, people may have questions like that. We'll discuss some other time. But this is our aspiration. We will understand eventually. And one final verse and then we'll move on to today's session. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye Mama janmani जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि Can someone please read the translation? Maybe Niklesh Prabhu can read.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women,
Amen.
nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
So this is the aspiration of devotees actually. I mean, we may not be there beginning, but by praying, by trying, by the mercy, then eventually we will get to that stage. Okay, so these are the beautiful verses we will try memorizing. And as I always mention, verses are like best friends in the time of need. When you are really put down by something in life, we all get pushed around and sometimes knocked over. So these verses will come handy. Immediately you'll remember. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna manena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Immediately we'll remember, okay, they may not give me any respect, no problem, but I will give them all the respect. So these are all best friends that you can collect. So please memorize them, internalize them. So eventually you will be able to practice them. So that's our hope. All right. So I formally want to welcome you to Gita Amrita course that we will be beginning today. So thank you all for joining and setting aside your valuable time for this session. Haribol! I'll give a very quick summary of what we will be covering over the next 15 sessions, and then we will deep dive into today's session. So this is, we did Gita Essence, which is 8-session course we did. I hope many of you attended. If you have not, it's a prerequisite for you to understand. We would love to answer your questions, but if it's a repetition of what has already been covered for the benefit of everyone, please do watch those sessions. It will be foundational for you. Many people told me that this is something that we have not heard before. And by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, spirituality is presented so systematically that people, engineers like us, who have been polluted with so much modern science, can still understand spirituality. So please do watch those 8 sessions if you have not. And we have buddies who can help you if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Today we will be beginning with Manual of Life. What is the Manual of Life? Of course, all of you know Bhagavad Gita, the Shastras are the Manual of Life. And we're going to discuss a few more things. The next week, we're going to talk about lessons from the 3 lives of Bharat Maharaj. Name India or Bharata came from 2 kings, but one of them is the main one. So, what are the lessons we can learn as spiritualists as we progress in our spiritual path? These are amazing personalities that we can learn lessons from. In the next session, we're going to talk about power of association. What is the benefit? You will be blown away by every spiritualist in Srimad Bhagavatam, for example. They primarily ask 2 things. Anytime they ask God, they don't ask God, I have had enough in this material world, please take me back to spiritual world. No. They don't ask that actually. They don't ask, please, I have so many headaches, so many difficulties, please remove them. These are all in the beginning stage. Yes, we can ask. Can I request Mataji sitting there to please move here? I'll feel more comfortable seeing more faces. If Prabhus can also move all the way up to the front. We have special sofa for you if you can't sit down. We're going to discuss the story of Mrigari, the hunter who became a great sage by the power of association. 4th session, we're going to talk about the love of a boy who attracted the Lord of the universe. This is the story of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsimhadev. This will be the time around Narsimha Chaturdasi. So we're going to discuss some pastimes related to that. These are all not just stories, but such deep philosophical points with prayers and amazing things. You may know the outline of most of these stories, but when you read in depth, you will understand what actual stories that are presented in the Shastras are like and how they help us in this day and age. This is one of my favorite sessions. Social service or God service. There are so many poor people in the world. Should we build temples? Should we waste milk doing abhishek? Instead doing that, can we give food, money to poor people who are suffering from? So this is a very helpful session to get proper perspective. And this is not the first session because this does require some foundations to be built before we can discuss this topic. So if you haven't watched the 8 sessions, please do watch them. Then it will feel satisfying and then you may be in a position to ask nice questions. 6th session, we're going to talk about ascending from fear to love. Everything we do in this world is based on one of these 4 things. We either do it out of fear. Oh God, I'm going to get laid off. I better work. Like that. Or fear or desire. Better, next level is called desire. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of money. I'm going to get fame. I'm going to get a beautiful wife or a husband or whatever. Nice car. Fear, desire, duty, and love. So we're going to explore why we do what we do and how are these levels different and what is the best motivating factor and few examples for us. Why do we worship so many gods? So we're going to discuss all that. Coming out of comfort zone. Both material progress and spiritual progress cannot be had from comfort zone. So I'm sure you may have seen some picture of comfort zone, stretch zone and stress zone. You don't do much. Unfulfilled potential. I once, many years ago, probably 15-20 years ago, I watched one Hollywood movie, trailer rather. In that the heroine is asked, what is your biggest fear? She says, unfulfilled potential. What is your biggest fear? Unfulfilled potential. We have so much potential. We can go back to the spiritual world in this very lifetime. If we aspire for it, if we desire for it. So that's a potential every human birth has. But do we live up to that potential? Or do we just spend our time scrolling, doom scrolling? I heard recently that every time you watch a YouTube short, the person who is created this video gets money, gets paid. And every time you are watching 30 seconds of your time, you are paying that person with your life. Time is money. So with your life, you are paying that person. So every time. So we can all. So this is going to be a nice session where we're going to explore. Do we want to stay in the comfort zone? Do we want to get to, or do we want to live in the stress zone? Some aspects of our life, we are in stress zone. Like that. Weekend, and then we crash. Sleep for 10, 12 hours and then wake up again on Monday. And then again in stress zone, battling fires. So we're going to discuss a beautiful story of Kailash, how he keeps postponing things. So, the next session we're going to talk about Srila Prabhupada, how he presented spirituality and his own story. I'm sure many of you are curious to know how he started ISKCON and what are his teachings, and we're going to talk about that. In the 9th session we're going to talk about test of a true master. So how spirituality can be studied or attained will be discussed in this context, and we're going to discuss the qualities of a liberated soul. How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they behave? What do they keep dear to their heart, and so on and so forth. And in the 10th session, we're going to talk about karma advanced, destiny and free will. Do prayaschitta cancel, do good karma cancel bad karma? If I do prayaschitta, will I be relieved from suffering? If everything is destined, why do I have to work? So is there something called free will? What is the difference between free will and destiny? So we're going to talk about all of that. And we're also going to talk about, there's a beautiful story from Srimad Bhagavatam of Chitraketu Maharaj, the little boy who spoke lofty philosophy, the boy who taught spirituality to his father. So it's an amazing story which we will all discuss. And then, the numbers are not accurate, but then comes Jagannath Rath Yatra time. So we're going to speak about few beautiful pastimes of Jagannath. Who is Jagannath? I'm sure you're all getting darshan of Jagannath, and he's getting darshan of all of you. So we're going to speak about some of that and the significance of Rath Yatra. Dhruv Maharaj is another popular character. He's in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's determination personified. You will be amazed what a 5-year-old with determination can achieve. So we're going to discuss that. And then comes Janmashtami. So we are already, by this time we're in August, believe it or not. So if you all survive by this time, this is what? April, May, June, July. So we have successfully, time flies by, trust me. We have seen too many years fly by. If you don't do anything, you don't have anything to show. But if we can make a commitment to have regular attendance, it's our commitment to make your 1 hour session here productive and well worth it. So we hope and pray that you all are able to make it. We'll make it fun by regular quizzes. Every 3-4 weeks we'll have some nice quizzes, little tough, little easy like that. And then we're also planning nice prizes. So motivation for all of you. We're also going to speak about Radhastami is right around that corner at that time. So we're going to also speak about what is the speciality of Srimati Radharani. It's a very deep subject matter, but we will try to share a few thoughts. And as I mentioned, Gita Champion is our opportunity we have once every 6 months. Is where we encourage everybody to memorize few verses. It's amazing actually, extraordinary experience for the whole family. If all of you are able to come together, memorize, hey, can you tell me Trinada Pisunichan, and then like that. So it's a fun thing if you are all able to memorize together. Kids will do better job than us because they have very fresh memories. So we will have one on May 1st and the other in December. And we'll also have December 19th, we will recite the entire Bhagavad Gita English on Gita Jayanti Day, which happens to be, I think, or Saturday or Friday, I forget. But we will do it here on Saturday. We do have spiritual retreats on May end, which we'll have some announcements at the end. We also have during Thanksgiving, during November end. This helps us bring us together, open our hearts and share our challenges and good things going in life. We will also have, we requested our temple president here, His Grace Vaishishika Prabhu. He's an extraordinary personality, has been practicing spirituality for more than 55 years, has been reading those books in the back, the Srimad Bhagavatam. Every year he reads every single page of them. He's an extraordinary personality, pure devotee walking the path of bhakti. So we will have his association sometime soon. We will also have Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. He wrote more than 40-50 books. He's an amazing personality. So we will have his association, I think, sometime in June, and many more are lined up. And in September, we're going to switch the gears to discuss practical spirituality. We're going to speak about anger management, art of working, relationship management. Oh, this is going to be very beneficial. In Kali Yuga, Kalaha means fights, it seems. It is the best exemplified by fights between spouses. something small, insignificant, leads to big fight. The person who's, no, what? How is that small? This is very big. How can you keep the car keys in your bag all the time? I told you how many times you should keep it here. Like that. So, same thing. I mean, every small thing. Why are you leaving the bathroom commode thing down? I told you, you always should keep it up. And so many fights like that. Every insignificant there is fight. That is what Kalaha, Kali Yuga means. Every small thing agitates the mind of the people. So we're going to discuss about how we can find peace so that we can practice spirituality. And we're also going to preparing some material for art of parenting in this day and age for all age groups. Not yet born to teenagers. Even though it's late, we will still have some tools that we can apply for all different age groups that will benefit them. And then in November, we're going to have a few sessions on Bhakti Yoga at home. How can you practice spirituality at home? So these are the outlook for the rest of the year. So we are here today, and this is how I think we'll go till September and till the end of the year. Is this okay? All right. Any comments, questions before I start today's session? All right. If there is nothing. Can everyone please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once loudly? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. So we're going to speak today about manual of life. What are the defects that stop us from realizing and seeing the truth all the time? So, anytime we buy some complex machinery, of course, smartphones and laptops are easy to figure out and we have seen them. But imagine you bought some new machine. You have never seen that machine, never used, never saw anybody else use it. What would you do? It's very expensive machine. What would you do? Some of us engineers, we are like, I will reverse engineer. I will figure out. No problem. I will push this button. I'll push this button, do this. Somehow or the other I'll figure out. Many of us may think. Yes, if it's a robust machine, then it may be okay. But if it's a delicate machine, then the button you push, the combination you push is probably gone. Okay, so for an ordinary machine, if we need a manual, this human body is such a complex machine that even till date, modern scientists and modern science cannot explain what is a thought, how mind works, what gives peace, what gives happiness. We are longing and inventing so many things in the hopes of becoming happy, in the hopes of getting connected in the world. They have social media and so many other things. But we live in a society that is most disconnected. We are supposed to have so many luxuries, but we live in a society that is most disturbed, most dissatisfied by modern statistics themselves. We live in a society where terrorism and gun shooting and school shooting and so many nonsensical things, wars, large scale wars going between countries. Oh God. So that's because, of course, as you know, people are not reading the manual for the human body. How the body works, how the mind works, how the world works, how the nature works. What is the purpose? So most people are not reading. That's the reason. Anyone who spent some time in Vedic knowledge know the beauty of Vedic civilization. In Vedas, there is something called Chara and Achara. Chara means moving entities. Achara means non-moving living entities. So Vedas classified trees as acharas, non-moving but living entities. But of course, Jagadish Chandra Bose, I think in 1900s, 1912 or something like that, that's when he found out that plants have life. Till then, modern science did not know that whether plants have life or not. Srimad Bhagavatam, the books that you see in the back, the third canto describes very detailed about embryology, what happens from the day of conception to 9th month, what happens to the baby on the 7th day, on the 14th day, at the end of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Everything is very nicely described. This is 5,000-year-old knowledge. No ultrasounds, no x-rays, no MRIs, all that stuff. It's a fascinating thing to think about how Shastras have, and this is all now corroborated by modern science. And the modern science agrees that yes, this timeline is right and what they are saying is right. I have one document, maybe if at the end of the time, at the end of the session, if I have time, I'll show you. There are 40 things that what was modern science originally said, maybe 10 years, 15 years ago, to now what they are saying, to what Vedas always said. And maybe I'll share that document in the group and you can go through. It's amazing how modern science was wrong once and they have come to realize now. And there are still so many things that they still don't understand. Cow products and cow dung. This is in Vedas, the cow dung has a very special place. This is the only excrement which could be used even in yajnas and other places. Of course, some of us coming from village background, it was used as a flooring agent, antiseptic. So cow products now, they are becoming very popular. The Panchagavya, the different things coming from cow, they're all very beneficial, medicinal values also. There are so many things like that. If we dig Ayurveda, the physical yoga that's very popular all around the world, Vedic mathematics, Vastu Shastra, organic farming, these are all documented in Vedas. Sanskrit as a language, extraordinary stuff. Of course, in due course of time, most of this information is lost. Many Indians, us included, we were never interested in that because of some bad propaganda. You're studying Vedas? Very backward people you are, huh? Is it so? Okay, I will. So, anyway, something to think about. So in today's session, we're going to speak about few things. I'll begin with the story of 6 blind men. And what do they think about an elephant? 3 ways to gain knowledge. 4 defects that do not allow us to get full knowledge. And some scientific research. And what do Vedas say? So we're going to compare and contrast. There was once 6 blind people who were given the task of feeling an elephant. The first person held on to the trunk of the elephant. Oh, by the way, I forgot to share. I saw Lata Mataji making notes. We have a notes group. I saw many of you joined there. Please feel free to make notes. The benefit of making notes is it gets imprinted deeper in your consciousness. Even if you never record, even if you never go back and read them, still the act that you wrote notes will go deeper in your mind. Even if you're able to take on your phone, that's okay. Better is physical. And whatever notes you take, please share it in the group. So that way it's beneficial for others as well. Thank you, Lata Mataji, for reminding me. So the first person was feeling the trunk of the elephant. And do you know what he said? When asked about what does an elephant look like? Do you know what he said? Snake, yes. Very good. Let's give a round of applause to Gita. So he felt, this looks like a snake. So the second person was hanging on to the tail. He said, what snake? It looks like a rope. The third person who was sitting on the top, he said, you know, Indian old style fans in summer we used to do like this. He said, it looks like a fan. You guys are crazy, he said. The fourth person lost it. He said, what are you guys saying? I feel a big wall only. Who is standing on the tummy? This looks like a wall to me. You guys are all wrong. I am right. Elephant is like a wall. And the fifth person who is feeling the tusks, again, these are all blind people, so they couldn't see what an elephant looks like, so they're only feeling it. He said, the elephant is like an arrow. Or do you know what the sixth person who is holding on to the leg would have said? Trunk of a tree. He said the elephant looks like a trunk of a tree. And they were fighting among themselves. No, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. Who is right? Are all of them right?
Right and wrong.
All of them right and wrong also? None of them are right? Actually, all of them are partially right. But of course, this partial knowledge is giving them because they think, I know, it looks like arrow only. Now he is ready to fight with others also. Many times we also have this partial understanding of God, and then all the fights you see is usually because of this misunderstanding. In our 6th session, one God or many gods, we discussed precisely this point. So we're going to talk about how they can gain complete knowledge a little later. So, what are the 3 ways to gain knowledge? Pratyaksha praman, which means direct sense perception. Like we see, for example, I can see the time, I see this, I see a wall, I see car going, like that. So, Pratyaksha praman means direct sense perception. That is how we all gain knowledge. Most of us have gained knowledge through direct sense perception. What is it? Okay. These may come in the quiz. Anu Prabhu is the one, so whatever he likes, he will put it in the quiz. So if you miss any session, you may bribe him to give less questions from that session.
Whatever you like, say it.
The second way to gain knowledge is called Anuman Praman. Anuman means using intelligence, we say it may be like this, it may be like that. Can I request 3 of you, if you are not there, please, we have more space in the Prabhu's category here. Please leave a space there always, this week and next week also, so that Prabhu's can go through. And the final one is called Shabda Praman. We're going to speak about all these 3 things. What are these 3? These are the 3 ways to gain knowledge. So first one, Pratyaksha Praman, which means direct sense perception. Can direct sense perception give us full knowledge? No? I have a funny video to show you. Please watch it carefully. No. There may be a remote somewhere there. Oh no, actually it's no, I think it should be okay. Let me try.
सूजी और मैं 2 साल से डेटिंग कर रहे थे. We were in love. कभी पिक्चर, कभी लेक्चर. So much in love. लड़कियों को सूजी बहुत पसंद थी, पर लड़के अबे ये कौन है? गर्लफ्रेंड है मेरी, तेरी भाभी होने वाली है.
चश्मा चेक करा ले अपना,
सब चलते थे।
नंबर चेक करा ले तेरा।
फिर मैंने सुना कि lenskart.com पे लेजर प्रोसीजर से बने लेंस होते हैं, सोचा यहीं से ले लेते हैं। हाँ,
lenskart.com पे है 100% accurate lenses. lenskart.com. Log on, play on.
We need to change your glasses.
The moral is that our senses are imperfect. We are not advertising for Lenskart. So many times people say, can you show me God? So if seeing is believing, then yes, we can show you God. But we cannot see so many things with our own eyes. Like sometimes, for example, a railway track, if you see, it feels like towards, after some time, the railway tracks seem to be merging together. If seeing is believing and you're on the train and you see out and you see railway tracks are merging, then you should call your whole family and jump out of the train, because the railway track is, who is the stupid guy who laid the railway track like this? If seeing is believing, that's what we should do. There's so many things, so many examples. You see here, refraction. Is the pencil broken here? No. Manufacturing defect. China wala. When we are driving on the road, we see mirage. Oh, ocean came here. Let me stop my car. So we cannot acquire complete knowledge purely based on pratyaksha praman. What we observe. If we say, I will follow whatever I can see and perceive through my senses only, I will follow. Otherwise, I won't follow, will not work. Because we are doing so many things that don't make sense also. And why is that? Why can't we have complete knowledge? Because of 4 defects. What are those 4 defects? I'll give you a simple acronym. SIMCity. S-I-M-C. S-I-M-C. S stands for senses are imperfect. The senses we have are imperfect. I stands for we are easily illusioned. Because the senses are imperfect, we could be illusioned. And because we could be illusioned, we make mistakes. And even though we make mistakes, we are not so sincere. We try to cover them up because we have cheating propensity. So nobody says, okay, no problem. Okay. So these are the 4 defects because of which 4 defects that every conditioned person, everyone who is not completely in touch with the Supreme Lord has. If most of us, maybe all of us have this. Why are the senses imperfect? When it comes to our eyes, for example, we cannot see what is outside the visible range. You know how the microwave ovens were invented? One scientist was trying to measure which of the Vipkyar, all of them have different wavelengths, different energies, some of them heat, they are at different temperatures even. So one scientist was trying to measure the temperature of violet, indigo blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So he put a thermometer on each of these light areas, and then he put a thermometer on the right side, a little further away, to measure the room temperature. And then as he was measuring, he saw not much difference between these, but he saw that the thermometer on the side was going through the roof. That fascinated him. He took a prism and then he was shining the white light through, and then that's how he discovered that microwaves have a very special property to heat up items. It was an accidental discovery. Did you know that? So with our senses, we cannot see most of the things. Cell phone signals are all around us. We cannot see cell phone signals. And then we demand. such an insignificant technology, which we are also accidentally able to find. But then we demand, show me God. Like that. Many times, whenever Prabhupada said, show me God, he would say, if you take a car which is not functioning properly, has some engine issue, you take it to a mechanic, somebody who has been working on cars for a few decades. You go switch on the engine, he goes to one corner, he hears another corner, he taps a couple of times and he says, your belt is loosened and it needs to be replaced. Hare, you are also listening to the same sound, you are also watching the same car. How could you not figure out? Because it requires training. The eyes to see need to be trained. He is trained over many decades, so that's why he is able to see the problem, whereas you are not able to see the problem. So similarly, even seeing God requires training, requires purification. So we cannot see everything properly. Same thing with our ears also. We cannot hear everything properly. There are so many documented cases where dogs were jumping up and down and they were trying to drag their owner out of the house. And they couldn't understand, but somehow they went out. And 20 minutes later, there is an earthquake and the entire house, the colonies collapsed. Happened in California also. We are not able to perceive the sub 20 hertz and beyond 20,000 hertz. Our audible range is very limited actually. So we cannot hear everything. So our senses are imperfect. So somebody intelligent may say, oh, if the senses are imperfect, can we have instruments that can measure everything? Of course, that's a logical thing, and it does expand our ability. But here is one scientist who is telling, Nobel Prize winner, Yevgeny Wigner, he is telling that even though we may manufacture other instruments, those instruments are still, we only manufacture them. With our limited intelligence, limited sense perception, we manufactured them. And whatever the instruments read, we have to read and take it in through our own imperfect senses. So there is no guarantee. You cannot say, I guarantee that this observation is foolproof, is perfect. We can never say like that. Okay, so that is senses are imperfect. So our senses are imperfect, because of which we cannot have complete knowledge. The second is SIM. I is for illusion. Because senses are not so perfect. At night you are walking outside and then you step on some soft, fluffy, round thing. Immediately you jump off, thinking it is a snake. But yesterday night you put pipe and you forgot to take it. So, because our senses are imperfect, we cannot see in dark, we cannot perceive the difference between a snake and a pipe. Immediately we are illusioned. There's so many examples, I will not go through all of them. But here are a few pictures. What do you see in this picture? There are two ways to look at this picture. What do you see in this? What's that? One old lady. Okay, some are seeing side face. The other person is wondering, huh? Old lady? The other half is wondering, side face? Where is it? Okay, we'll help you see it. For old Mataji, this is her nose. This is her lips. This is her hair. This is her eyes. Disheveled eyes. For the side face, she is looking in that direction. This is her face cut, jawline, ears, there is a small nose and small eyelids. So, yeah. What about this? What do you see here? A triangle? Triangle? Three circles and a triangle? Last time kids said they see Pac-Man in this. So actually there is no triangle here. It's just three incomplete circles. What do you see here? Old man and old lady. And we also see two people having good time playing guitar. Three people and another person coming through some door. Okay, here is another one. You need to move your head sideways like this. And see, tell me if this image looks moving to you. You will be shocked to know that this is a static image. This image you have to go around, look around like that. Rotate your head like this. Does it look moving? The circle. Here is another one. For this you have to come closer and go back. Do the circles seem to move? Have I convinced you that you could be easily illusioned? I can have a static image and make it look like it's moving. And so many other illusions. And many scientists, based on this illusion, created some theory and which later on found out to be not true, not accurate at least. So this is the second reason why we cannot have perfect knowledge, because senses are imperfect, and because the senses are imperfect, they could be illusioned. And what is the third defect? We make mistakes. Because it could be illusion so easily, we tend to commit mistakes. And here are some mistakes, very big blunders humanity has made. For 570 years, brain is thought to be a blood cooling place. What does the brain do? Blood goes to the brain, gets cooled and comes down. For 500 years, that's what brain is believed to. What is the function of the brain? Is to cool the blood. Until recently also, the pituitary gland, which is now called the master gland, was originally thought to be a useless vestige in the human brain. Some scientists even use this as a proof that God does not exist. If God is all intelligent, why would He create this pituitary gland which is useless? But later on they found that this pituitary gland is the one that balances hormones in the body. I hope the scientists who thought like that did not remove their pituitary gland. There's so many of them. There is some funny thing. Hubble constant was changed 3 times, it seems. Supposed to be a constant. But fourth, so the first is senses are imperfect. Second, because the senses are imperfect, we could be easily illusioned. And because we are illusioned, we could make mistakes. And the fourth is, even when we make mistakes, because of the false ego, cheat. Somehow cheat, and so this is large scale cheating. In modern science, there is the story of how we evolved from monkeys, right? That's what at least modern science says. We evolved from monkeys. So they had fossil fuels of monkeys and they had fossil fuels of human beings. But they never had something in between. They called it missing link. So in 1912, they showed to the world the missing link for the first time. And 40 or 50 years later, around 40 years later, it was revealed that the scientists have taken the upper portion of human skull, lower jaw of a monkey, filed it and fit it together and sold it as the missing link, proving theory of evolution is proved, hence proved. We found one skull that fits our theory, hence proved. And for 40 years, I mean, common men, common people like us, we don't have access to all this technology. I mean, we blindly follow, news, CBNC, okay, TV9 it came, then it must be true only. So, there's so many things like that. Okay.
Evolutionists go so far in this subject that they can even invent very different faces for the same skull. The three entirely different reconstructions made for the fossil called Zenanthropus is a famous example showing how persistent evolutionists are in producing.
They made three skulls, three different faces for the same skull.
Another intermediate transitional form fabricated by evolutionists was the Nebraska man. This was cooked up in 1922 on the basis of a single fossil tooth. The evolutionists
Based on a tooth, they reconstructed the whole person.
as Parapithecus Harold Cookup, or to make imaginary drawings related to it. It was soon revealed that the tooth that had been the source of inspiration for Nebraska Man in fact belonged to a wild pig.
The tooth from which they built the Nebraska man was a wild pig's.
Evidence for evolution failed one by one. Neanderthal man was advanced as evidence in 1856, dismissed in 1960.
100 years later.
Piltdown man was advanced as evidence in 1912, dismissed in 1953. Zenanthropus was advanced as evidence in 1959, dismissed in 1960. Ramapithecus was advanced as evidence in 1964, dismissed in 1979.
So these are the examples of cheating propensity. Somehow or the other, because they are interested in fame, whatever may be their aspiration, somehow or the other, through cheating, they want to prove their theory. So this is the 4 defects with Pratyaksha Pramana. What are the 4? Senses are imperfect, illusion, mistakes, and cheating propensity. If you remember Las Vegas, you will remember this. Sim City, but this is Sim City, simulated city. SIMC, Sim City. But there are problems even with Anuman Pramana. Anuman means guesswork. Like for example, you go to some neighbor's home or some friend's home and you hear some sounds coming from one of the room. Wife and husband shouting at each other. And you're thinking, oh God, maybe the wife and husband are fighting with each other. And some child goes and opens the door. And you see Gemini serial is coming on the TV. If you don't know what Gemini is, I've seen in my childhood. Usually fights only. All the masala is, you watch 1000th episode and 2000 episode also, same thing going on. In-laws and so this is Anuman Praman. Maybe it is like this, based on some guesswork. Oh, sound is coming from here, okay, maybe like this, it may be like that. And unfortunately, theory of the origin of species by Charles Darwin. So there is a funny joke. Once one girl, having heard in school that we came from monkeys, went to father and she asked him, Papa, how did humans, where did we come from? Father said, we came from monkeys. He said, okay. And she went. But next day she became a little curious. And then she went to her mother and she asked, Mama, where did humans, we come from? And the mother, who is religious, spiritual, she said, God created us, beta. So the girl went. She was thinking, Papa said we came from monkeys. Mama says we came from God. So she came back to her mother and she asked, but Papa said we came from monkeys and you are saying we came from God. How is that true? The mother said, oh, that is no problem. He is talking about his side of the family. I am talking about my side of the family. So, you'll be amazed actually the Darwin theory, that theory of evolution. What do you believe we all came from? Most of us in our school education. Did you believe at any point in your time we came from monkeys?
Yes.
Yes? At some point at least, there was no better explanation. No alternate explanation. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. If you look at the picture, it looks only correct only. Monkeys are like this, and then humans eventually, looks good. But you'll be amazed at what he proposed actually. He says, after 5 years of observation, I speculated a theory. And this is what I think. This is the only probable thing that makes sense to me. That's his scientific research. It's extraordinary when you study deeply. I will not go in the interest of time. But the records of fossil fuels show that human skulls existed millions of years ago in parallel to apes and monkeys' skulls, monkeys' bones and all that stuff. There is no evidence of, in order for a monkey to evolve into human beings, many years should have passed, and there is nothing. The missing link is still missing only, even in 2026. It's not just for human beings. Many times they say theory of evolution can be understood at 3 levels. For those of you who are a little scientific. So, first level is evolution on a biological level, microbiological evolution. Like for example, a fish in shallow water may develop smaller fins so it can go faster. Over a period of time, by natural selection, it is possible because the living entity, the soul exists. It may evolve over time that the fins may become smaller. But a fish, by whatever stretch of imagination, cannot eventually become a bird and start flying. So the first level is microbiological evolution, is the proof that most modern archaeological findings point out that there was small fish and then became little bigger wings. There are proof that exists that shows microbiological evolution. But the second thing, anytime you think of evolution, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? You're thinking monkey to human being, right? Anytime we hear. The second type of evolution is macrobiological evolution, where from one species a new species comes. There is absolutely no proof whatsoever. From an archaeological point of view, there is absolutely no proof. There is no modern scientific proof also. They could not generate a new species from an existing species also. And then there is a third level, which is from chemicals, life came. Life comes from chemicals. Origin of life. Origin of how did life come? Few amino acids came together. There was lightning strike, and there came a single cellular organism. I was reading that forget about the entire single cellular organism. Sometimes when we say single cellular organism, we think it's a simple thing only. But no, there is so much complex. The most modern complex machines are nothing when you look at the complex structure of a single cellular bacteria. So they forget the entire bacteria, it has 3 layers, forget all the layers, take one layer. On the layer there is something called plasma. It requires a specific protein, and that protein requires a specific combination of 235 elements. And for it to happen randomly, by chance, the probability is less than 1 by 10 to the power of 325. In modern science terms, it is improbable for such a thing to happen. If you are interested, I will share more technical details on what of this. So, when we think of evolution, somehow people think that, Darwin theory explains how life came. It explains how from one species, other species came. No, there is absolutely no proof to any of these actually. It is the propaganda of atheistic people who want to remove God from the picture, who try to propagate that, okay, we figured out, and then propagate like that. So there is much commentary given by ISKCON is very popular for IITians and very, very bright minds who drill down to the depths of the scientific research papers and bring out such wonderful points. If you're interested, we will share more information on that. But the point is that Anuman Praman, it may be like this, it may be like that, does not give us conclusive evidence. Darwin theory is, unfortunately, is still the widely accepted theory because there is no alternative. But we as spiritualists don't have to believe that. We have much more authentic proof. Here is one example. He says, if a bear starts swimming in the ocean and opens its mouth wide and starts catching fish, I see no difficulty how in few generations this can become a whale. That's what he writes in the book. We're not making up. There is a page number if you want to refer. No need to buy the book. Here is another example. The way theory of evolution is, giraffe developed long neck because it wanted to reach the leaves on the top of the tree. What happened to the grass on the ground? There were other living entities, deers and other things, whose carbon dated fossils found that they were also living at the same time. Why did they not bend down and eat grass from down? Oh, sarruta kejigo. Pride. This so many loopholes actually. So if another thing is, if monkeys evolved into human beings, why are still monkeys bothering us? Or everyone should have become humans, no? So anyway, so here is another thing. So in the name of advancement, we create so many gadgets. But unfortunately, what we see is these gadgets, yes, they give some temporary relief from pain, and distract us from our purpose, but ultimately lead us to sleeplessness. Can you imagine? Human beings are the only living entities who takes medicine to sleep. We cannot even sleep properly. Oh God, what a state we are in. So ADHD, attention disorder. We cannot pay attention to somebody speaking for 10 seconds also. There is data saying that in 2008, the attention span was 3 minutes. Somebody could be attentive for 3 minutes. In 2025, the attention span fell down to 30 seconds. Do you know why now the YouTube shorts are only 30 seconds? So, oh God. Anyway, so, here is another interesting one. Bubonic plague. It wiped out 1/3 of Europe's population in 1300s. They believed that cats are the reason for this bubonic plague. So they killed all the cats. And then the bubonic plague became rampant and many more people died. And then they realized, sorry, it's actually rats. But we accidentally killed the cats, which is a natural enemy for the rat. So rats population increased and the disease also spread more rapidly. So mistakes are half knowledge is a dangerous thing. Once one cleaner, he got on an aeroplane. As he was cleaning, he went to the pilot's cockpit and he saw, wow, this is such a nice one. I never flew an aeroplane. And he saw a book there. Then okay. And he opened the book. How to fly an aeroplane. And, wow, this is nice. Push this red button. He pushed the red button. And then the engine started. Then, very nice. And he turned to the next page. To start moving as a taxi, press this blue button. He pressed the blue button. The aeroplane started moving. And then as it gained speed, he turned to the next page. He said, when it reaches sufficient speed, press this green button to take off. Okay, very nice. And then as it's speeding up, and he pressed the green button, and then, wow, this is so nice. And he flew. After flying for 20 minutes, he said, it's like, this is enough for today. So and he said, okay, let me now land the aeroplane. So he turned to the next page. There it said, to learn how to land the aeroplane, please buy part 2 of this book in your nearest bookstore. Half knowledge is dangerous. Vaishishi Prabhu shares this. His harmonium teacher, he charges somebody who doesn't know harmonium, he charges $15 per hour to teach them harmonium. If you don't know anything, $15 per hour. But if you already know some harmonium, he charges them $20 per hour. Why? He asked. Because they learned some nonsense from somewhere else, so I have to undo whatever they learned and then teach them the proper way. So, unfortunately, like that. So, half knowledge is indeed dangerous like that. So, and we have seen solutions creating bigger problems. Like, for example, the CFC machines, CFC based refrigerators in 1980s. Did you know that the ozone layer had a hole because of this CFC based refrigerators? They found 15 years later, why global warming increasing, why people are getting these skin diseases, cancers like that, and then they later found that ozone layer has much bigger hole than it used to, and then they banned the CFC. Same thing with organic food, non-organic food, GMO, genetically modified food. It looked nicer, very shiny tomatoes, no blemishes, no seeds also, very nice. People started buying those. Now after 15-20 years, I think now we are realizing so many chemicals, so many cancers, so many diseases because of GMO food. Now again, all organic food is coming back. So it's like that. So whatever solution we try to create, seem to create a bigger problem then. So anytime we come away from natural, God-given method of living to this artificial living, we may have more money to show, more luxuries to show off, but we are more disturbed, more diseases, shorter lives, no good. So, key to happiness is complete knowledge. And how can we get complete knowledge? We cannot get it from Pratyaksha Praman, nor can we get it from Anuman Praman. Okay, here is a funny video. He is trying to figure out how a machine works. And how can we get complete knowledge? That is to Shabda Praman, hearing from bona fide authority. So here is, of course, Krishna mentions in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakalini hamahata yoganastha parantapa. So knowledge need to be received in disciplic succession. So if a child wants to know who is his father, there are 2 ways to do it. One is to do mass scale DNA testing, and maybe few decades or centuries later they will be able to identify who his father is. Or the easy way is to ask his mother. The mother will say, here is your papa, and that's it. Simple. So similarly, Vedas are considered to be the mother. And Vedas, if we study Vedas, Vedas will point us who the father is, who the supreme father is. So no need to do reverse engineering, how earth works, how earth life came into existence. No need of all of that. And of course, it's not a blind belief. You study, when we put it into practice, we will see results. So sometimes, for example, if you do meditation, you will feel more peaceful. And it's a proven fact now, even scientifically. Scientifically, it's a proven fact now. Yoga will make you more healthy. It's a proven fact now. So these are all coming from Shastra. Just as we have authorized colleges, we do have few authorized sampradayas. Spiritual knowledge cannot be obtained from YouTube or whatever source. And just as we have professors, we also have spiritual teachers who have studied under another spiritual teacher, with humility served them and gained knowledge, put it into practice, and then perfected it. And just as we have libraries and books, we have authorized books to study, like the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that. And some of these books, they predict the future also. Srimad Bhagavatam discusses about Sugata Buddha, will take birth. Chanakya Pandit talks about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take birth. King Ashoka. So Shastras speak about actually different incarnations that will come in future, different events that will happen in future, like that. So using this also we can prove that Shastras are speaking truth only. Of course, how educated Indians were diverted from putting their faith in the Vedas. This nice documentary you may search online later. Okay, just as we have authorized colleges, if you go to, let's say, hopefully not, but let's say we have appendicitis, and then you need urgent surgery, you go to a doctor. The doctor says, "Oh, thank you for coming. I have watched 100 videos on YouTube how to cut appendicitis. Please come. I will do surgery for you." What would you do? Run away immediately, because YouTube is not an authorized place for learning surgery. So similarly, we have 4 authorized sampradayas. These are very big, from where Vedic knowledge can be understood. All of them are saying the same things, slightly different variations. The Sri Sampradaya also tells that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but is inaugurated by Mother Lakshmi. And Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and then Kumara Sampradaya. It's not that these are Supreme Personalities in their Sampradaya. That's not the case. They are teaching, all of them are teaching the same conclusion, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is how we worship Him. These are the books we should study, like that. And then there are Acharyas coming in that, prominent Acharyas in each of them. Ramanujacharya, South Indians are probably familiar with this. The Sri Sampradaya. Brahma, this is the Sampradaya that we belong to. Brahma, and then Madhvacharya is the prominent personality. And Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Jan Swami, and Kumara Sampradaya is, Kumaras are the 4 Kumaras, the 4 children of Brahma. And Nimbarkar Acharya is the prominent Acharya in that. As long as you're hearing from any of these 4. If someone says, how are you speaking this? And he says, I was sleeping one day and then it is revealed to me. Then just as you ran from the appendicitis doctor, you should run away from that video. Anybody who says, I figured out by my own, because we all have these defects, no one can figure out perfectly on their own. It may be more logical, more intellectual than ours, but still they will have some loophole in their philosophy. So the only authorized for spiritual knowledge is these 4 sampradayas. So as long, of course, these are huge. Some of the personalities, very popular personalities on YouTube, belong to many of these sampradayas. So please always do some research. Because when you're starting an aeroplane from here, even 1 degree off, your destination will be completely different. So better, when we are beginning, better to know whom we are following. And we fall in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And how did Brahma receive this knowledge? Krishna mentions, Tene Brahma Hridayadikavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. So there he says, Krishna reveals this spiritual knowledge to Brahma, and then the 4 heads, Brahma started speaking 4 Vedas from the 4 heads, and eventually documented by Vyasadeva with the help of Ganeshji. So this is our Sampradaya. From Krishna, Brahma taught it to Narada Muni, and then that lineage continued to several people. Okay, we will hear Srila Prabhupada.
We haven't got to manufacture something.
This is Srila Prabhupada speaking.
We simply repeat the words and the instruction given by the predecessors. Krishna instructed Brahma, Brahma instructed Narada, Narada instructed Vyasdev, Vyasdev instructed Madhyacharya, and in this way, then Madhavendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the 6 Goswamis, then the Srinivasa Acharya, Kaviraj Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and then we are doing the same thing. There is no difference. That is the specific procedure of the Krishna consciousness movement.
So Srila Prabhupada in his Bhagavad Gita introduction, he writes, if there is any credit that I can take from writing this book, it is this, that I have presented the subject matter as it is, as I heard it. I did not add anything, subtract anything. Of course, we may add our realizations, we may make it relevant for the modern times, but the subject matter, the essence, is conveyed the same way. It is carried over from, as long as we repeat the same message, then we are all safe. But as soon as we speculate, it may be like this, the moment you hear the word maybe, that's a dangerous situation to be in. So, we are all very fortunate that we live in times where somehow or the other this authorized knowledge is carried over and to come to us in a nice, unbroken, disciplic succession, and we are all able to take advantage of it. And this is our Srila Prabhupada, who founded ISKCON at the age of 70. He came to the West and started a worldwide revolution. This is a story of extraordinary Hollywood blockbuster type of thing, which we'll discuss some other time. So how can the 6 blind men get complete knowledge? Ask somebody who has complete knowledge. They get it from someone who can see the full truth. The Bhagavad Gita 4.34 says, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaye upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Somebody who has seen the truth can reveal the truth to us. So these are the spiritual teachers whom we try to follow. Of course, I'm nobody. I also have the same defects that all of us have. But they, because of their purity, are able to explain things. And as long as we are able to repeat them, we are safe. So this is the summary of our discussion today. What are the 3 ways to gain knowledge? Shabda Praman. Which is the best way to gain knowledge? Shabda Praman. Shabda means sound, by hearing. And what are the 4 defects that stop us from having perfect knowledge? Senses are imperfect, illusion, mistakes, cheating, propensity. And Anuman Praman also has the extension of those. And half knowledge is dangerous. We cannot say it may be like this. I figured out by my own. Dangerous proposition. So, always better to base our understanding on Shastra. So thank you very much for your kind attention. We will take few reflections and comments and questions if you have any for next 5 minutes. And then I think today are we having kids presentation? Okay. Alright. Please, any comments, questions, reflections? Reflections are something that you heard that stuck in your mind and it's like, aha, I wish others are able to catch. So we have a mic that's going around. Anyone want to share anything? Please raise your hand. Any questions anyone wants to ask? We should start giving prizes for reflections and questions. We give extra cassette ice cream if you ask nice comments or share nice reflections.
A very basic question. It may be like why I'm asking this question, but these 3 ways of getting knowledge, is it mentioned in Shastras, Vedas? This is where it is coming from.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
We can look it up where exactly it is coming from. I don't remember the top of my head where it is mentioned, but yes, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the introduction of Nectar of Instructions how there are 3 ways to gain knowledge, and these are the 3 ways, and then he mentions these other ways have imperfections because they cannot be perfect. We cannot rely solely on them. Of course, eventually it's not that we blindly follow, that's not what is encouraged here, but we take Shabda Praman and then put it into practice, and eventually we will be able to see the truth. Not physically see, but we will be able to perceive the truth. And even the 4 sampradayas that I discussed, that also comes from Padma Purana, where Padma Purana mentions about these are the 4 sampradayas that will be available in Kali Yuga, and this is where you can gain perfect knowledge from. So, it would be trippy, no? If this is not mentioned in Shastra and we say, refer to Shastra and it's not mentioned in Shastra. Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay, Anu Prabhu. We will all stand up after this, stretch ourselves, maybe take a sip of water, and
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just a reflection, Prabhu. It just makes me wonder and realize that how important is the work that the Supreme Personalities like Prabhupada have done. Because I feel that even today we are falling in the same trap again and again. We are inventing things without realizing the spiritual base, just creating more solutions to create more problem and futures. We're talking about AI today. Eventually it's going to be yes, we will advance in a way, but really nowhere. So we keep repeating the cycle. So I think how important this work is, that if sometime, even if the tipping point is reached where you have enough critical mass that people realize that what is the real path, that will be the actual how things can actually change. But otherwise I see we are just repeating the same mistake over and over again and again.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing. The goal and hope of this session is that, of course, many of us may already have faith in Shastra, but we would like it to become well-reasoned faith. We don't want it to be blind faith. Why are you going to Gita classes? From my childhood, I heard Gita is good. How it's good? If you don't know this, you will not be able to convince our next generation. We will not be able to convince our next generation by saying, theory of evolution, oh God, that's going to be a big thing. And of course, we have youth sessions where we will go in depth about these technicalities. But so it's good if we are able to remember some of these. Our faith will become well-reasoned and strongly established, and we will be able to convey this faith and convince others when we ourselves have a good understanding. Alright, so we will all stand up once and do our famous Gauranga Nityananda. And when you come back, we will have the youth presentation. Okay, so this side we will do Gauranga, and then the right side we will do Nityananda. This is our opportunity to stretch Please try to reach the ceiling as you stretch and try to stand on your toes. So we're going to do physical and spiritual exercise together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gauranga Nityananda. 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 Haribo, thank you. Please take a seat. Let us welcome Ansh and Arush for making the youth presentation today. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You want to move this? You can stand here. One of you can stand there if you like. Where is the second mic? Second mic, second Okay, everyone please sit. Please come back to your original spots. Please come back, please come back.
Hare Krishna everyone. So thank you so much Sham Prabhu. So what our entire motivation for this is the youth classes, because as Sham Prabhu was just saying at the end of the class, it's about the next generation as well. We also have to have the well-reasoned faith, not blind faith, but also we have to pass it on to the next generation. And at ISV also, the entire program is for youth to also join in, learn about the philosophy behind why we're doing everything, right? Because it's not just blindly doing everything, just like going through all the emotions, but we have to understand why we're doing that. So today we're going to start the kids' presentation here. Today's topic is about brotherhood, and what better way to start with two brothers actually talking about brotherhood. So please give it up for Ansh and Arush. And we're going to hear from them about a lot of things actually, and at the end you can just give a few reflections or even questions, because they're really smart kids. Can everyone please sit?
Hare Krishna everybody.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna. Today our topic is the secret of universal brotherhood.
What is happening in this image?
War. Is the mic on?
This one? This one? And this one?
Suffering. No food.
All these conflicts happen because one human doesn't feel connected with another one. The Bhagavad Gita gives one answer to this, and it may surprise you.
First, let's diagnose the issue. This conflict is caused by avidya, which is ignorance of who we truly are. Basically, we identify ourselves with the material body, but do not understand that we all have the same soul inside of us. By not understanding this, we make labels and distinguish people based on their material characteristics. And from these labels, we make comparisons and compete with others to see who's better and who's worse. Through this competition, this leads to conflicts, and this chain's reaction is the reason behind any conflict in Earth.
This is what the current society looks like. It's very distracted with multiple things like social media, food, anything. Meanwhile, the ideal society would be focused on Krishna and would have Krishna as the center.
Okay, so now let's think about the solution. The solution comes from our Shastras, and the Vedic knowledge from this Shastras says that the solution is understanding the Atma, which is the soul, and the Paramatma, which is the super soul. So the Paramatma basically is the God residing in each one of us.
The first step to understanding Atma is understanding that the soul exists eternally and it goes from body to body. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mama evamcho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. The translation is that the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Basically, Krishna is saying that everybody is a part and parcel of himself, and we all come from him.
Furthermore, Krishna describes how the soul works inside of the body. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Bhagwan says, Yatha prakashayate kaha kritsnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha kritsnam prakashayati bharata. And the translation is, O son of Bharat, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. So this shloka basically says that the reason for all feeling, knowledge, and basically believing that we are basically functioning within this body is because of the soul. And Srila Prabhupada compares the body to a microphone, because a microphone is just metal and plastic. However, when electricity passes through it, it functions and is able to amplify sound. However, when this electricity plug is removed, the microphone ceases to work and we say that it is dead. Similarly, the only reason the body is functioning is because of the soul within it. And once the soul has passed away, we say that a person has died. So basically this shloka is saying that the soul is the reason of us functioning within a material body, and the body is nothing but matter.
Understanding the Paramatma. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mata smriti gnana pohanam cha. And it means, I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Basically, he's saying that he is in everyone, and a tiny part of him is in everyone, and from him come the knowledge, all our actions.
Furthermore, Krishna describes what a wise person sees, and this wise person is someone who does not have conflicts because he understands that we are the soul, not the body. So Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Suni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So the translation of this shloka is, a wise person who has real knowledge and humility sees a learned Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and an outcast as equal. This wise person does not distinguish people based on material characteristics such as social status or race, but understands that every human being has the same soul, has a soul, and the same Paramatma within each of them. And he understands that it is useless to fight with with a sibling, because we're all of the same level and we're all struggling souls.
What this means in practice. We care about the person even if what they're doing is wrong. Let's say a loved one is sick. You still care about the loved one. It's just the disease that you don't like. Radhanath Swami said, we should love the sinner even as we resist the sin. This is because we all commit sins under the influence of false ego and material conditioning. Also, another thing to clarify is that eco-vision does not mean we stay silent or do nothing. Let's say there's a tiger. You can go say hi to it politely, but you won't go and hug it. It's just not smart to do that. Your inner feeling and your outer action are two separate things, and both matter equally.
This lesson is exemplified through a story that Prabhupada mentioned in his purport of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he referenced Narada Muni and the devotee snake. So the story goes, as there was a devotee snake who became a student of Narada Muni, and Narada Muni taught the snake that he should never bite. Once the snake went into the real world, the local children started throwing rocks at the snake, pulling his tail and dragging him. So they were basically taking advantage of the snake, and it was causing physical harm to the snake. And the snake, not liking this, went to Narada Muni and asked, what should I do to escape this people taking advantage of me? And Narada Muni said that you should not bite, you should continue to not bite, but you should spread your hood as if you are about to bite. And this basically, and the lesson from this story is that a devotee should remain peaceful, but should also know when to be firm to protect himself or herself.
Now, going back to the beginning, what is the solution to all these problems?
Relating the factors of life.
Yeah, the solution is understanding that we are all universal siblings.
To conclude, the world does not need more political, technological, or economic solutions. Rather, it needs people who know who they truly are.
Any questions?
So first of all, wonderful. Thank you for giving us a good ribbon cutting start. For others, this is what Vaishesha Prabhu does at the temple. So we have youth presenting on our Saturday morning at temple also, and amazing presentations like this. So he mentions, any of you who are planning to give feedback, please do. There is something called sandwich. You tell something good, you can give something that they can improve if you like, and something good that they did. So sandwich like that. Or you can also ask a question, that's also welcome. And I really like the presentation. Whoever chose this universal brotherhood and brothers to present this, very innovative, creative idea. And the way you went through Atma, Paramatma, and how Paramatma is the common source among all of us, how we are all individual souls struggling, and then there should be universal brotherhood. That was very beautifully portrayed. And I liked how the conclusion also came about, which is the practical application of this knowledge, of how you mentioned we should not hug the tiger. I mean, we treat everybody equally, but that doesn't mean I'm going to treat an envious person who may cause harm to me the same way as my child. So I treat them equally in my heart, but then I may keep distance from an envious person, the example that you quoted, a tiger. So that was very beautifully put. So amazing stories as well. So well done around all. Okay, Satyaji.
Hare Krishna. I think the title you picked is so apt to this current problems happening in the world, and you connected very well the title to the description, how one by one you prepared the topic and how the solution can be achieved. Very good, thank you.
Beautiful presentation, short and sweet, and it conveyed so much. My best one was takeaway was the snake story, which is so true in today's world, wherein we can say that okay, you need to be humble and everything, but we are still living in this material world. So beautiful analogy and beautiful presentation. Thank you.
So one thing that I want to appreciate about them is I see that they remembered most of the shlokas. They didn't really see the screen or something. They were able to recite them on their own. That's really commendable. And second is my takeaway today was what Radhanath Swami said, like you love the sinner though you resist the sin, because in today's day and age we start identifying the person with their wrongdoings and deeds, and that's why we are not able to connect with them on the level of brotherhood that can prevent so many wars and destructions. So yeah, that was my takeaway today. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing presentation, first of all. It clearly shows the hard work that you guys put in. I think for me, the best part was like how you structured the entire narrative and how you build up on one step after the other towards the solution. Like Bhagavad Gita has so many verses that you can take up from, but the choice of verses that you picked were amazing. It really drove each and every point how you were going about it. So yeah, huge Haribol. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Questions?
They prepared a lot of answers.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful presentation. I think, as everyone said, right, you're not making up stuff. You backed every point that you made through Shastra, right? You gave a perfect reference to the shloka from Bhagavad Gita. That is amazing. And as Mataji said, you were reciting, so you were not only putting us to shame, but also setting an example, right? So thank you for that. By the way, as brothers, do you fight?
As brothers, do you fight? Do you have the mic, please?
A little, but not, just a little.
Only for the rasa.
Oh, okay. Now this is dog food for you. You have to start implementing what you have said. Thank you, but amazing. As I said, you're setting example for the others here. Thank you so much.
I have a question. So you said a wise man can see a soul in everyone. So how do we put that in practice?
So seeing a wise soul in seeing a soul in everyone shows that we're all the same, meaning that we're all struggling souls, and we also have a Paramatma within us, which basically means that God is in our hearts. So in a way, you can see God in everybody, and when you see God in everybody, you tend not to fight with others, you tend not to distinguish, like classify people into groups. You see that we all are siblings because we have God within each one of us. Yeah. Thank you.
thank you both of you, like such a great presentation, and the dedication and hard work that both the kids have put is tremendous. And this is the first presentation from both of them, and then they put so much effort and then hard work, and also they put lot of hours to make this happen. So definitely congratulations to both of you. And one thing I want to mention from this presentation is, like always, it's I and mind, right? That's how everything revolves around. So how you mentioned that we need to put Krishna in center is like everybody needs to know, like we have to come out of I and mind, and always we need to keep Krishna in the center. So amazing presentation. Thank you both.
Thank you, Ansh and Arush, for wonderful presentation. I mean, this shows your confidence, and this didn't feel like your first presentation here in front of everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank your parents and also the wonderful teachers who are nourishing all of you, and because of them you are able to come forward and present this presentation. So thank you.
All right.
I just wanted to know what grade you are in. Okay.
I'm mom. Arush is in second year of Sanskrit. So he has taken Sanskrit as foreign language.
Wow.
Yes.
We go through our announcements as Prabhu's putting up the slides. So again, some of the announcements we do week over week, so I'll just go through them quickly. So the one thing is, of course, as we take prasadam, please sit with your groups. Again, that is really important. We're trying to build that connections within those groups, so that's really appreciated. For everyone who comes on time and helps us start the program on time, really a big thank you. And we would love to see everyone get here as soon as possible, so we all can enjoy the soulful Kirtan together. And then, of course, the chanting call that we have. So Prabhu will pull up the chanting report for this week. So thank you for everyone for joining the chanting calls, and for all the volunteers to lead who are leading these calls. And then huge thank you for Balaji Prabhu for organizing the prasadam this week. So this week prasadam is cooked by Prabhus. And with that, I'll just quickly announce the names of the Prabhus. Oh, so yeah, this is the list. So we had 36 people, so this is amazing. Joining the all right, I'll just quickly announce the cooks for today. So we have a fusion menu today. So like especially by Prabhus. So yeah, so we have a vegetable rice by Balaji Prabhu, Venu Prabhu, and myself. Then we have a burger today, and the Prabhus behind that are Prakash Prabhu, Kinjal Prabhu, and Sumit Prabhu. Oh, actually, Prakash Prabhu, yeah. And then we have noodles today, and it's Chakri Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu, and Satya Prabhu. We have fruit custard for dessert, which is Ramesh Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Then we have Kasata ice cream by Shyam Prabhu. And cookies and popcorn and chips for kids were brought by Kinjal Prabhu. And juice for kids was brought by Ranjit Prabhu. So thank you to all the Prabhus for this amazing service. And yeah, so we are a bit short today, so I'll not take all the names, but thank you to all the volunteers, all the teachers, and all the Prabhus and Matajis for putting their effort to, just help this program happen. So thank you so much. As Prabhu announced at the beginning, so we will be having 2 spiritual retreats in this year. So the one that we're talking about is coming up in the May long weekend. That is 23rd May to 25th May. We have an amazing property. Actually, the backdrop that you see is of that property only. It's in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe is North Shore. And then again, I think the only thing I'll call out here is that being into these spiritual retreats, I think 3 times now, these are like amazing opportunities to really I would say, accelerate in your spiritual journey, make connections that stay forever, to be honest. And then, yeah, there's nothing like it, just waking up together early in the morning and chanting and just staying together and cooking together. You cannot beat that experience of staying under the same roof and doing all these things. So yeah, our home is an amazing home. Lot of again, all the modern facilities. More than that, we have a lot of space. So imagine these sofas gone and this becoming an area where you're all sitting, dancing, doing dancing kirtans. It's just blissful. Again, as I said, a lot of amenities there. Amazing, facilities. So we'll again make best use of all of them in a Krishna conscious way. Have our quizzes there, have Krishna inspired movies and things like that.
I saw the original picture of this. There was no Krishna there. So that's a theater, home theater. Anu Prabhu intelligently put a Krishna picture there. So that's very nice.
The original was Paramount movies. So yeah, again, as I said, we make best use of it in a Krishna conscious way. So just a quick high-level framework of how things will go. So we go there Saturday. The goal is to start early so that we can maximize our time together. Generally, we have taken prasadam with us, and as soon as we reach, we take prasadam, and then we start our activities and things like that. There's so many things we do. We play sports. We do organized activities. We play games. And then I think the first day will be all about it. Second day is when we'll again get up early in the morning at the Brahma Muhurta time, so start our chanting together at 4 a.m. And it's a blissful experience, trust me. And more than that, it's also fun to have everyone get up and get ready at the same time. So yeah, it's an interesting and a fun experience. But then we'll again make breakfast together. That day we'll pick a nature outing. It could be a hike, it could be a scenic walk, things like that, which is again an amazing thing to do together. I have in the next slide a few options on what it can be. But yeah, this is just 1 second on that slide. Yeah, so then again we come back, we do kirtans in the evening, take prasadam and wind up early. And the checkout day, we again do Brahma Muhurta chanting, we make breakfast, we can go for a japa walk. That's amazing, just going early in the morning with the sunrise, walking and doing our chanting together. And then we check out. Generally what we have done is that we take some prasadam and stop at some place, do a picnic lunch, and then take picnic prasadam, and then we go back to our home. So we'll try to follow that. This is again the description, so I'll not go that day by day activities. I think I've walked through most of them. So this is the second day. We'll have this one full day. This time we are going for 2 nights and 3 days. So this will be our full day from morning to evening. And yeah, we can move forward. Yeah, and then on this day, Sunday, we'll pick. So these are 3 examples of what we can do. Again, as you see, right? I mean, these are mostly easy paved hikes. We'll pick something that works for all ages, and it's, as I said, right? It's so fun to do it all together. So we'll pick one of these, and then of course the final day. I walked through that, so I think probably we can skip that as well. In terms of packing list, I won't go through everything here. The idea is that we'll mostly have Prabhus sleeping in the common areas, in the sleeping bed arrangements, and Matajis, and the kids will be in shared accommodations within the rooms. So just think about that. We'll share this slide deck so that you have the list with you. In terms of registration, so what we are trying to do is have this more organized. So we have created a registration form. What we are doing is that there is a early bird discount of $20 per person, which is valid through April 18th. So if you sign up before that, you get a $20 discount per person. And then of course, when we say person, we are counting ages 8 and above. And so when we say 120, it's not that the cost is 120. The idea is that this is just something that, so that we know how many people are coming, just for us to help us organize. But yes, we will eventually very transparently share all the expenses, how many people came, what's the per head cost. We've done that all the times in the past, and then we'll let you know if there's an overage or there's more deficit there. So we'll let you know accordingly. And then yes, I think the only thing to call out is please the form of payment is through Zelle. So we'll be transferring the registration amount to Ranjit Prabhu. So Ranjit Prabhu is there. He's outside. So we'll introduce him later. But yes, so please scan this one. This is also, Shyam Prabhu also sent it today. Venu Prabhu, when he sent his RSVP messages earlier, the link is also there. And of course, Shyam Prabhu sent the links today, and you can scan this as well. Any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them. Ranjit Prabhu is happy to answer them. And then, as I said, right, I mean, like, this is going to be very nourishing. And again, I think I said that earlier, that when you come back from these retreats, you actually come back charged. You don't come back discharged like some of the other vacations you go to, or I have been to. So I've always come back filled and, like, just looking for more. So yeah, I hope we can see most of you there. It'll be really amazing to spend the time together.
Haribo, let's give a round of applause. We have limited spots based on the previous interest. We booked a place, so it's a first come first serve. I know we have more than 95 people here, so please, if you're serious, please consider registering as soon as possible, so we can plan better. So because we do have few other options, so if there are more people interested, we can think about something else. And the way we are thinking about this retreat, as Prabhu said, is of course we try to choose less expensive and not so much about luxury really. The main goal is to be together, and it's extraordinary. I've seen every time our group went to spiritual retreat, before and after, there is so much gelling that happens there, and people are able to open up their heart and share their difficulties and good things in life, and this type of friendships that we cultivate in those 2-3 days is extraordinary. So if you are able to come, please do come. And we want to connect with nature as much as possible. I mean, looking for enjoyment is the birthright of the soul. But the only thing is, we are looking for in concrete jungles. So, but when we go and connect with nature, that's when you feel completely relaxed and relieved of all the stress, and so it's a supremely blissful experience. So please, as soon as possible. Any other announcements?
The only other thing is, Prabhu, we already read the 4 verses today. So for the Gita champion, it's technically less than 4 weeks away now. So please, if you have any questions, how to sign up for that, or if you need any help with those verses, please reach out. Yes, and this is the barcode for signing up for that one. It will appear. Okay, yeah, this one. So please scan this and sign up for the Gita champion, the 4 beautiful verses that Prabhu, we all read at the start. It's not working? Okay. So
which one doesn't work? This one?
The Gita champion. Yeah. This one, Prabhu.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll redo.
There should be a link in the group.
Yeah, it's there in the group.
Yes.
Shared.
Yeah. And then
Mataji will send it again. It's at the top of your list.
Awesome. And then maybe Prabhu will quickly show the map again. Oh, sorry, Vaishnavi Sangha. Yeah. So okay. So we have the next instance of the Vaishnavi Sangha coming up with all the Matajis. We get together. There's the past sessions have been amazing. I've heard from Manshika, so her experience, so I can vouch for it. But yeah, please do sign up for it. And then again, if you have any questions, reach out to Shama Mataji. Yes.
So by the way, this is the WhatsApp group where they will share these conversations. So please scan and join. So at least you are aware what the topics are and what will happen there. So then you can choose whether to join or not. Of course, we highly encourage. Matajis need more socialization than men. That's the reason we don't have Vaishnava Sangha. We will be the only people. So please do join. And one final thing, which is, these are the 4 groups. We have consolidated few groups now, so that you have a bigger group, more people to talk to. So if you are part of white, now you are part of violet team, which is led by Vivek Prabhu and Sakshi Mataji. Blue group is led by Balaji Prabhu and Balmukul Prabhu. Green and orange group are now part of the green group, led by Ram Swarup Prabhu and Anu Prabhu. And brown and red group are part of now the brown group, led by Mohit Prabhu and Ramesh Prabhu and Chakraji. And the kids will sit in the kitchen, the youth will sit in the first hall, and blue group, we have given you 2 rooms because now you are a bigger group, so you can decide how you want to split. The pink group will continue to sit in the master bedroom, and the green and brown groups will continue to sit in the main hall, the big hall. So, and then adults will go through the back. And then we'll do, is it okay if we do quick kirtan or should we go for prasadam? How many of you want kirtan? How many of you want prasadam? See, if you really want prasadam, you should be shameless. I see the people who want kirtan, they are more enthusiastic. I'll ask you one last time. If you really want prasadam, please raise your hand. Not so much. Okay, if you want kirtan, please raise your hand. Alright, okay, we will go for kirtan. Can I have the youth come in the front? Sharan? Where are the small kids? Where are the small kids? Still in the classroom or what? Please bring the second mic to the front. Second mic, okay. Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokul jinka dhaam hai. Shri Dhara मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। ऐसे सुत को बच्च बचायो, ग्रह से गज को पान छुड़ायो। सुत को बच्च बचायो, ग्रह से गज को पान छुड़ायो। ऐसे कृपा धाम को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। पांडव को युद्ध बचायो, अर्जुन को उपदेश सुनायो। पांडव को युद्ध बचायो, अर्जुन को उपदेश सुनायो। ऐसे वीरानाथ को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। ऐसे वीरानाथ को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। भजरे भज गोविंदा गोपाल हरे। बेटर बेटर भज गोविंदा गोपाल हरे। भज रे भज गोविंदा गोपाल हरे। भज रे राधे गोविंदा राधे गोपाला राधा पटचारी राधा परिशीश्वरा राधा कालचंदी रुक्मिणी पतानी राधा मदन मोहन राधा बंक बिहारी राधा दामोदरा राधा गोकुल नंदा राधा गोपी वल्लभा राधा गोपीनाथा राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा नंदनीश्वरा राधा नीलमाधवा राधा राधानाथा राधा रमाना राधा दास बिहारी राधा श्याम सुंदरा राधा वृंदावन चंद्रा किशोर किशोरी भजरे भज गोविंदा गोपाल हरे। भजरे ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। Govinda Gopal Hare Bhaja Re Bhaja Govinda Gopal Hare. Take a deep breath, we'll do one more time. Gopal Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudevanande, Hari Hari Bol. Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Kaliyuga Pavane Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Transcendental Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, please come. Oh, we forgot to do Mahaprasada prayers. We will have Sharan sing Mahaprasada. Mahaprasade Govinde, Namo Brahmane Vaishnave, Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan,
Vishwasomaya Jayate, Shalila Vidyajaya, Jodindriya Tahekar, Jive Pele Shasagore, Parvati Jivayati, Lobo Mai Sadurmati, Taki Jetakai Samsare, Krishna Baro Toyo Moy, Kari Bare Jiva Jai, Soprasadana Billo Bhai, Seyana Mitta Kau, Radha Krishna Guna Gau, Preme Bako Shri Chaitanya Nitai,
Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Mahaprasadam ki
Jai. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Ram Sankirtan ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Mahaprasadam ki jai. Please come take prasadam.
Yeah. Bye bye, 3 people. Yeah. Bye bye, 3 people.
Again.